chant here. Can I get a Jalang over? Jalang over. What? 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 Louder! Louder! You can do better than that. Come on. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Take it from park to drive, take off like a lift. My exes can come back to me because I'm not where they left. My bitch just gave me a baby, I'm watching her breast. All my praises go up to the most high because he blessed. I can't take my bitch nowhere, she be trying to undress. I can't take my girl nowhere, he be trying to impress. I can't hear you. I can't. Zalangovo! 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 I was just broke. Pockets was empty. Bitch, you gon' fail. You try to test me. I come from the jungle, yeah. Yeah, nigga on boy. Take it from park to drive, take off like a lift. My exes can't come back to me because I'm not where they left me. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Nasty, let's go! Firstly, how are you doing, man?
Good, man. Good. A little nervous, but I'm good.
You're a little nervous?
I don't know if they can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Turn the mic up a bit. Turn the mic up.
I think we need to go higher a little bit, nah? Now, bro, they not here for me. Let's switch, bro. You're gonna sound.
What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? That's I'm good, my bro. How you?
I'm good, man. I'm
Yes,
good.
sir.
I'm good. And as I see, you did not come alone, right? You did not come alone. Everybody knows Nasty, the music, right? But we said here today, we're here for business as well. We said we're here for infrastructure. So Nasty brought his team with him. And if you can pass the mic to your right or left?
I'm gonna start it here. On my left.
Side. Yes, sir. For those who don't know, who should know, who are we with today?
My name is Ayanda Ngobo. I'm Nasty's manager and business partner.
All right. Can I just say, man, and I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody when I say here, we know the album's out. The campaign that you guys ran last year was one of the most amazing campaigns. Can I get a round of applause? That was one of the most amazing, most authentic campaigns that we have ever seen, right? And my first question, right, now that you guys are independent, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm saying now that you guys are independent, if I'm not mistaken. Are you guys, would you say what's better, label or being independent?
Because I've got the mic already, maybe I'll take
Yes,
that
sir.
question first. I'd say independent is definitely the best position to be in.
Okay.
But it's definitely the hardest one.
Okay.
Because everything is now resting on you. And
sure.
you're spending your own money. So you need to be smart with your choices as well.
Okay.
And even the ideas that you have must be reflective of what income you have in your bank account.
For sure.
So when you're still in a label, you're able to dream bigger. You're able to do a lot more because you're risking someone else's capital.
For sure.
But when it's your business, you need to make sure that you have enough cash flow. And as a result, you kind of have to adjust your ideas and the concepts that you end up implementing.
100%, for sure. So that's from the business perspective. Yeah. Nasty, from the music perspective. What would you say?
So pretty much everything that he said, but then what I'd add is that if you're fairly new to the game, it's always best to do the first couple years independent. Because there's a lot of stuff that you need to learn, man. Like get some skin in the game, have your ups, have your downs, build up your leverage so that when it's time for you, if that time does come, if you want to go knock on a major label and say, look, I'm willing to sacrifice this amount of my stuff so you can take me to this specific place or whatever, you have that leverage to say, I've done this and this and this and that. You don't need to do any kind of groundwork for me. I've put in my work. And you know what I mean? Now you can negotiate.
So that's the leverage, building
deal.
the leverage.
Yeah. 100%.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
100%.
amazing. All right. Now, I'm aware of the two of you, but I sat down with Ayanda last year and you showed me something incredible, right? Something that looks like the future of what all artists need. And if I'm not mistaken, the man that built that is here today, right? Ladies and gentlemen, you may not know this face right now, but this is probably one of the numbers you need to get ASAP. ASAP. But let me not do all the hype. Let me let the man introduce himself. My man, tell the people who you are and what you do.
How's it? Hi, my name is Toby van Zyl. I'm part of the tech team and I own a company called Makerverse. I'm one of Nasty's biggest fans, and the way that we got meeting is that Nasty wanted to go independent but needed label-like infrastructure in order to serve that independence, in order to build a community around his enterprise, around his brand.
Okay.
And that vision came to me, and I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to build with him this vision of a brand called Torax, which we'll show a little bit more today.
Can we just get into it? Can we get into it? Can we? I believe you can show them, right? You can show them.
Yeah, for sure. So
all right.
It comes with a bit of a lesson as well, I guess, you know,
sure.
as a technologist. I think, you know, just to lead us into the conversation today, why infrastructure matters, why the artist on top of his own infrastructure is so important in today's world. So I prepared a little pitch for you guys, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So today I'm Toby the teacher. So, right. So yeah, what we do at Makerverse is we're a company that builds technology infrastructure and monetization tools for the new music economy. And in short, what that does is it empowers artists to put out their music and monetize their fans on global platforms while also banking locally. And to date, in stealth, in beta, we now have about 14,000 creators on the platform from 22 countries. 2,000 have paid to put their music out, 12,000 songs out there, 500 million streams. So we've done pretty well. Right?
Sheesh. Those are real numbers.
So why does this matter? Because nowhere else in the world is music growing faster than in the sub-Saharan African continent. We're the fastest growing, the largest and the last market on earth to have 22% compound annual growth of music. And that it just goes to show Amapiano and Afrobeats is conquering the world. In fact, almost 10% of the world now consumes African music. So we're definitely on the up. But the sad, unfortunate reality is that Africa earns less than 1% of global music revenue. There is $1 billion left on the table that's not coming to artists. And that is because there's an infrastructure problem.
Show me, man. I want to see it.
So an infrastructure problem starts with how music collective societies are structured around music. So out of the 54 countries in Africa, there's only 27 countries that have attempted to establish a music collective society. But 2/3 of those are not functional. They are not digital first. They're driving old business models in a digital first world. And of those 2/3, only 6 provides for digital access. That means a lot of Africans are not getting access to registering their music, to copyright their music so that they can collect their music, the royalties on that. So what that further does is it creates that there's a big leakage of value on the value chain. These copyright societies lack digital music registries. And if you can't register your music, piracy is going to thrive.
For sure.
You know? The reality is if local distribution and local music promotion platforms lack international data standards. So if you promote your music on local platforms, sometimes there's missing data, and that missing data means missing money. Then rights collective societies operate on an old school model of paper, you know, and spreadsheets. It's not digital. So there's high administrative processes, and that also leads to a high cost when you want to collect your royalties. So maybe 50 cents out of every rand that you get goes into admin, right? So if that's not enough, creators are also challenged. You as the artist are often challenged with high cost to distribute your music, you have to use a lot of tools to create the music, and you don't necessarily have a lot of channels to monetize that music. You also have to part a lot with your royalties using international distribution challenge platforms. Whilst you're also battling algorithms and your fans are owned by the social networks, it's very hard to monetize your full ecosystem, even when you're up and coming artist.
Okay.
For labels, the problem is even bigger, because independent labels, if you're a label sitting here or you're an independent artist, you rely on third-party distributors to put your music out there. Those third-party distributors can take 1/3 of the dollar. That's after everybody else has taken their cut. So out of $1, you get 34 cents at the end of the day. So there is no platform that labels and artists have to manage their own operations. There's a lack of operating systems when it comes to having an artist and a label see the same side of the coin and see the same data. And for that reason, we came up with a platform or concept that we felt like Africa needs a platform of its own, right? And that's why when Junior came to us and Ayanda came to us and said, build us a platform for Africa, empower Africans, something that we own that's from here to the rest of the world. Help us leapfrog the African continent.
Quick question. Can I ask a question for you guys, right? What led to that point? What led to the point of saying we want everything into one platform? How did you guys get there?
Yeah, so while we were still signed, we obviously, for every artist, even if you are signed, you have an ambition to be independent at some point.
Okay.
So we then decided to build an infrastructure so that when the time did come for us to migrate from being signed to being independent, we would have an ecosystem that's already been built.
Okay.
And we understood that ownership is something that's very, very important. We wanted to promote directly to our consumer. We didn't want to have algorithms deciding on social media who sees our content and who consumes our music. So building your own platform that allows you to have an ecosystem, to have a fan base within your platform, and then you're able to distribute your music directly to your fans, and you're able to sell your tickets to your shows directly to your fans. You're able to sell your merch directly to your fans.
Yeah.
It's very, very important. It cuts out the middleman. It allows for all the revenue to go to the talent directly.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of people taking commission in the process.
For sure. Oh, that's powerful, man. Isn't that powerful? Come on. All right. Yes, Toby.
So yeah, we've got a little bit of a surprise for you, but we wanted to introduce to you Torax, which is a decentralized distribution platform for independent artists and independent labels to go direct to market. That's the vision that the guys have. And with Torax, it's so easy. Just in 5 minutes or less, you'll be able to onboard. You'll be able to distribute your music onto all global music platforms. Track all of your analytics, your fan engagements, your revenue in real time. Engage with your fans on your own smart links and fan pages direct. Upsell, monetize your fan base as well. And most importantly, own your music, own your creative and financial freedom with a catalog that's in the palm of your hands with our own app. But more important than empowering the artist, we are also a community of fans, brands, and where all of your artists, everybody here can come together and collaborate. And that's what the industry needs, and that's what it's all about.
Okay.
So we also prepared a bit of a demo, a real life demo, if you guys wanted to see what it operates like.
You guys trying to see it? Yeah, they want to see it.
Okay, cool. Let me switch over here quickly.
I think while you are working on that, Toby, a question for Nasty is how involved, how important do you think it is for you as an artist to be involved in the process of whether it's creating the merch, whether it's putting together the lineup for Iverson Toys? That's something you say, I'll let my team do it, or is it?
Nah, I think it's very important if it's anything that's gonna represent you as the artist, you definitely need to have a hand in it, because your fans can tell when something was cooked up by someone from the sides. You know what I mean? Your fans know you, bro. Like, you guys form a special bond, especially if you've been doing this for a very long time. I've been doing this for a very long time, so my fans kind of know. They know where I want to be and where I don't want to be. So if I one day pull them into like this crazy thing that's so unlike me, they'll be able to tell that it wasn't my idea, or you know what I mean? So it's always best to like, have your hand in it, whether it's the merch, the music itself, the videos, the events, whatever it is, have a hand in it. Even if maybe, let's say I have partners that like he's very good at designing stuff and he's good at making stuff.
Yeah.
Let them cook up some ideas, but at least have them come to me before they release anything to say,
Powerful.
do you like this? Is this what you want to put out?
Yes.
Da, da, da. You know what I mean?
Dope,
I think
dope,
that's
dope,
important.
dope, dope. So Toby, you say you got the demo ready for us? So we have someone joining us.
Cool. Can you hear me, Toby?
Can you guys hear?
All right, guys. So,
Double
welcome
checking.
to
Can you guys hear?
Torax has probably previously been raised that Torax is a distribution service tailored for music producers, artists, and labels. You can come to the website Torax and learn about all the features and the solutions that are offered at Torax. New existing artists can come and register their profiles and join. Existing artists can then sign in and return to their profiles. I'll be logging in directly to an account. So this is the Torax application. Everything can then be managed from the left navigational bar, all the features, including settings, where you'll be setting up your profile and your fan page. Every artist sets up their details, configures profile pictures, claims their app handle and username, inserts their public bio, website URLs, as well as linking all of their social media and social streaming channels to their account. On top of this, they're able to invite their team members and account admins to manage the profile, secure their account with two-factor authentication and email configurations, as well as manage all of their billing and subscription details. So each creator is able to then subscribe to a plan where they are able to then pay monthly or annually. These plans are then managed within the billing settings, being able to show you when your next billing date is, how many accounts you can distribute for, your royalty payout rate, as well as all your billing transaction history. So as Torax being a distribution service, we allow artists to fully DIY and manage their music as well as their distribution. So artists are able to, after mastering their releases, upload their tracks from their devices. Upon uploading their music, they are able to then create releases. Those releases are now selected from your track list, and we can go ahead and obviously distribute singles, albums, and EPs. Once those releases are created, we can then, final step is distribute the releases. So all of this is managed through individual user journeys, as well as a catalog that we give you to manage your music. So once an artist has created an asset file in Torax, the whole asset file is then managed under the catalog. We can see all of the package details in terms of all the metadata that the artist would have provided on the user journey. We track all of the master rights, so everybody that is entitled for the track itself, as well as all the licensing that is required, whether this is a cover song and we need mechanical licensing, if samples are being used, all of that can be assigned to the actual file itself. And then we can track the analytics, consumption, and revenue, which I will show you on the release side just to save time. So tracks are uploaded and then managed from the catalog. As mentioned, we can then go and create releases. So we can create releases. Once releases are created, this is essentially how we manage the release itself. So as you can see, it's packaged very similarly to how we manage the tracks. All the metadata from the artist has been provided on the release itself. Artists are able to edit releases to fix metadata and correct anything. So as you can see, we select the track list from the tracks. We then upload the cover art into the application, and then we go and configure all of the metadata that you saw saved in terms of all the artists, genre types, UPC codes, label information, and so forth. So the artists themselves provide all of this information and then are able to then manage these releases underneath their catalog. As well as the distribution is fully DIY, so artists are able to then come and distribute to over 40 DSPs. We integrate it into some of the download stores like Amazon Music and iTunes, so artists can pre-select the pricing tiers. Alternatively, artists can pre-select the DSPs that they want to distribute to, including all the big ones, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, and so forth, including all the UGC platforms like TikTok, YouTube Content ID. So as much as Torax is a distribution service, we also manage the rights on behalf of artists. So music that is being put on UGC platforms and social media, we can then also decide how we want to monetize that content. Do we want to monetize? Do we want to block the content? Do we want to earn revenue from ad streaming and so forth? So all of this is now catered monetization policies for the artists, as well as being able to select their distribution details. So being able to distribute as soon as possible, or distributing on a future release date where they can put in pre-order dates and decide the territories that we ultimately want to distribute to. So artists have full control for distribution, as well as track splits. So if you have collaborators on the release, lyricists, producers, anybody who needs to earn a share in the royalties, we can also allocate that to the release. And then in real time, all the artists then get the streaming data. So we package all the data in real time for artists so they can understand where the release has been downloaded, how many times, the streaming growth across all the various DSPs that we distribute to. We can start ranking and seeing of the DSPs where we're getting our streams. We have multiple tracks and multiple releases inside the application. We can start now discovering and understanding exactly where our music's being streamed, including territory-wise, like countries and so forth. So all of the data that we package for the artists are all available on a per track level, as well as the release level, as well as a collective aggregate across the entire catalog. So lots and lots of data for these artists to really understand what's happening with their traditional streaming, what's happening on social music, and then ultimately their revenue. So at the end of the month, we package all the revenue for the artists so they can understand exactly what's happening with their releases and tracks, catalog in real time, and then ultimately we bank those royalties into their wallet, which I will show you. So lots and lots of analytics when it comes to the artist being able to manage their music. And that goes to a whole range of analytics, which I've just shown you now, but also in terms of being able to see playlisting analytics. So where your music is being shared on playlists across Apple Music and Spotify, seeing the track positions, the active playlists, the follower counts. We have a lot of data for these artists, including engagement data, so we can also start tracking what's happening with your likes, your comments, your plays, your Shazams, your airplays in terms of when your music is being played on radio. All of this data that we pull for an artist to then manage underneath the analytics. And on top of that, we then also go ahead and pull all your audience data. So from Instagram to Spotify to your YouTube channel, TikTok, we're able then to pull your full audience so you can understand what's happening across your audience metrics across the various DSPs and understand exactly what's happening. And then I think the last thing I can show you for the time sensitivity that we have is the wallet. So we've tried to create a full operating system for your music and for you as an artist, and that being a wallet as well. So artists are able to earn multiple revenue streams from your royalties, being eligible for advances, subscription streaming, digital products, and so forth. The artists then earn positive balances at the end of the month, are able to see those transactions come in. Every month when you do royalties or revenue, that is then seen through your statements, which can then be exported to your device and understood in a deeper view, and then ultimately withdrawing your revenue. So you are able then to create beneficiaries, select the currency you want to bank into, your bank account, and all of the details. Once those beneficiaries are created, we can then put in a positive balance to withdraw, select that beneficiary, and put in a settlement description, and we can literally withdraw that money and it will be into your bank account within 2 business days. So a full, complete cycle of being able to upload your music, distribute to the DSPs you want to, track your analytics and your revenue, off-ramp that revenue into your bank account. Did that. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Oh, man. Okay, I guess the first question is, how long did it take to build that? How long did it take to build that?
It's more about how clear is the vision before you architect. And I think Junior and Ayanda had a clear vision, which helped us architect the infrastructure. So that was about a year's worth of work.
A year.
A year's worth of work together. And then the build, once you've got solid foundation, a good working team, you've got the right talent,
Yeah.
you've got the right capital, because it's quite capital intensive.
For sure.
Then you can go all hands in.
Okay.
So it took us about a year to get to our first minimum viable product.
Yeah.
And then it took us a few more months to commercialize and test it. And
Okay.
now we're coming out of beta. We'll be available to everybody now in the public, so that everybody can go and safely use the service. So
how soon can people, I'm sure people are checking this on, I see a couple of phones out already. How soon is this going to be available?
It's available right now on torax.xyz.
Okay.
We're not waiting anymore.
Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. I'll pose this question for you, Ayanda. I know a lot of rappers, and I think when most people see this, and it's called Torax, people think, am I now signing to Torax? Does that mean I can get a verse from Nasty? I tried. But what does that actually mean, being a part of it?
It really means that you've got access to this infrastructure. You're able to track your data, to be able to make better decisions. Most of the time, as artists, you don't really know which song you need to focus your energy on. Which song should you shoot your music video for? Which song should you put some ad spend behind? With this platform, every song that you've got distributed, like Tyler was showing you, you get to see which song has been playlisted. You get to see how your streaming data is currently performing, and then you're able to then decide where to really focus your energy on.
For sure. And that's dope, man. That's really, really dope. My next question is for Nasty, and I think one of the themes, I believe Absa is also behind this theme for the year, is being all in, right? I'm hearing from an infrastructure perspective, this took a year, right? And Nasty, I know you're someone who takes time when it comes to putting together an album, right? I think the time span between the first album to Strings and Blings was probably like 2 years.
Yeah, it's always a year or some change, or 2 years.
Yeah. How important is it to be all in, to commit, just to get music out, but I'm gonna pour into the music?
It's very important, man. It's very simple. It's like you get what you give when it comes to this kind of thing, you know? If you put in the hours and you dedicate yourself, and every thought of every hour is dedicated to this thing and making it better. How can I make it better than it was yesterday and the day before and whatever? Then you're gonna get like a good reception when it comes out, whether it's a song, or app, or whatever it is. Yeah. You have to always be all in.
Got you.
You know? Yeah.
Got you. And Ayanda, from a business perspective, right? Because if you're gonna do something for a year, whether it's working on a body of work for a year, whether it's working on a whole system and a whole platform for a year, I can imagine there's a lot of troubleshooting that goes into that, meaning there's a lot of money that goes into that. And back to being all in, how important is it to understand being in and managing the risk financially when building something, when building a campaign, a marketing campaign, when building an album, when building an infrastructure? How important is it to manage your finances?
It's very, very important. Before you even start, you need to be able to do a cost analysis of how much it's going to cost you to achieve a certain thing. You don't want to be in a situation where you're attempting to build your own Torax infrastructure, and halfway through, you don't have enough capital because you didn't forecast exactly how much the total build was going to cost. So as an independent artist, or even a signed artist, you need to know upfront how much your music videos are going to cost you, how much studio time is going to be required in order for you to finish your album. And then you look at your existing capital, and then you're able to decide what items you need to do first and what can wait until the next bag is available for you to take the next step.
Okay. For this question, I'm gonna bring it to you, Nasty. right? A lot of people will say, right, don't mix business and pleasure, right? Or
Yeah.
don't do business with family,
Yeah.
right? And I see you just said you ain't really listening to that. And you're managed by your own brother,
My brother, yeah.
right? What did it take to get to a decision? Because I'm sure you've been managed by other people.
Yeah.
What did it take for you to say, you know what, even though people say you shouldn't be managed or shouldn't be handled by your family, but you're gonna
Right.
take that route. What made you do that?
I needed someone I could trust next to me. I understand that like having a manager means you're fully transparent with that person with everything. You know where your mind is at when you're working on the album, who you really want to work with, what things you want to do and not do for money, because that's essentially what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Doing a bunch of stuff for money. And also transparency with the money also. I did that. I tried that with a couple other people, but it didn't turn out so well in the end.
For
They didn't
sure.
have my best interests at heart. They were working on their own thing. I was just a vehicle for them. But he can't do that. I'll find him. He could never, you know what I mean? Yeah, is that, and also a lot of other things, man. Because he's my big brother, I know him, I trust him fully, and it's someone I trust with my career, even if, God forbid, I pass, sooner than I expect. I trust him to properly, handle my career from that point onwards. It won't be in the hands of a stranger.
For sure.
I know my family will see my money, guaranteed. You know what I mean?
Oh man, that's incredible.
Why not?
That's incredible. And I'll pass the question back to you, Ayanda, now, from a sense of you have this juggernaut of an artist who you need to manage, but he's also your brother, right? And your business partner, right? How do you manage that, right? How do you manage your emotions? How do you manage the relationship and still be a bigger brother? How do you do that?
It's something that Junior taught me quite early. I remember, I'll tell you a quick story. I don't even think Junior remembers. I think I was maybe 1 month in, started working with him, and we were going to a radio interview, and he wanted to grab some water on our way. I drove, parked at the garage, and then I was like, all right, bro, you can go and get your water. And then he was like, nah, bro, I can't go outside. So immediately from that point onwards, I learned to remind myself whenever we in work mode, the brother hat comes off and the manager hat comes on.
Okay.
Right. And I understand that at this point, he's my boss and I need to service a particular function.
For sure.
But as soon as the job is done, the work hat comes off and I become a brother.
You guys fight? I see you
and then
working
he does
out.
get his own water.
Okay, now, man, that's dope. That's dope. And I want to get into now the different, I'll say, pillars of Torax, right? I mean, you guys have the merchandising, right? You guys have the events, right? I think, Nasty, you were one of the first artists in South Africa to really get into streaming, right? And then there's gaming on top of all of that. Is that you at the forefront of all that? Do you have a team managing all of those pillars? How does that work?
So I start these things off. I basically just follow my heart. I'll jump into a thing blind, purely out of passion. Like with the gaming thing, I didn't do any kind of recon. I didn't study this thing. It was locked down. I found myself in front of this thing for hours on end every day. And then I said, look, there's a lot of potential to make something out of this. There's an emerging, very promising gaming scene in Africa. I was already tuned into the streamers from the UK and the States.
For sure.
But I started to see the potential here at home,
Yeah.
I said, okay, cool. I don't have the capacity to take this on by myself because I'm working on albums and stuff. So take what I do and just give it to my partners and be like, okay, let's grow this. Think of some ideas, go knock on some doors, see who's interested to participate, whether they're behind the screen or in front of it or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah, but that's basically how it happens. I find a passion. I follow my passion.
For sure.
And then I hand it over to these guys to figure out how to make a business out of it.
Oh, man, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. So then you will then take over and then run it forth, right? And these, if I'm not mistaken, these platforms or these from merchandising to events, right? These are all also things that are available when you're on the platform of the marketplace, right?
Yeah, so as an artist or a label that's on the platform, you're able to sell tickets for your own events. You're able to sell merchandise for your own store. The only thing that the platform would take is the transaction that happens between your bank,
For sure.
the two banks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we as much as Torax is our platform, we've built it in such a way that it allows the artists to be fully independent, and they're able to earn all of their revenue and they collect it for themselves.
Okay. And are artists able to connect with other artists on the platform? Like if I am an artist, I'm looking for a producer. From an artist, I'm looking for a designer because I want to do my own clothing brand. Is that available on the platform?
Currently, every person is able to create their profile. So if you follow a lot of people, you'll be able to identify the people that you follow, what they do, and then you're able to go into their profile to see what services they can provide for you. A feature that we're currently building that will be available later on in the year is the marketplace, where we'll be going and hand-picking certain individuals. We'll be hand-picking producers that Junior will be identifying.
What?
And as an independent artist, you'll be able to have access to be able to purchase a beat from a Gemini or from a Teleman or from a DJ Slick.
Oh, man.
So the platform will evolve and become a marketplace for musicians so that any artist, if you want to start your career and you're looking for resources, you don't need to have those people readily available in your community. You can literally go to Torax. You'll search, I'm looking for a photographer that's in Joburg. You'll be able to search and you'll see all the available photographers in Joburg. If you're in Durban, you'll be able to find the ones in Durban. You'll book your appointments. You'll be able to then transact with them directly.
I'm going to just ask, how much is it going to cost me? Say it. How much is it going to cost me? Because there must be an amount. We get that question a lot at AMP. It's like, yo, you get these access to, because there's something happens in the brain when you get so much access, right? You start thinking, it should cost me an arm and a leg. We will say there's access to podcasts, there's access to music, there's access to a stage for live sessions. And when we say it's free through Absa, they're like, what? No. You know what I mean? So to be a part of this, how much does it cost?
So it's quite simple. Everything that you saw is available for free. The only thing that you pay for is the distribution. So the access to the data, the community tools that are available, you being able to bank and collect your royalties via the back end of the platform, all of that is happening at no cost. But when you want to distribute your music, there's a $1 subscription for
$1.
$1 per month.
$1.
$1.
Why?
16 Rand.
Come on, player.
We looked at the DistroKid model. We understood that most independent artists are utilizing DistroKid to distribute their music. And we were trying to find a price point that was competitive enough to take the artists that we're currently distributing on DistroKid and come to us. We provide more than just distribution. We also provide the data analytics. We provide the merchandising ability, the fan community platforms as well. So for less than what you would pay on DistroKid, you get all these other benefits as well.
And it's also greater access, if I may say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of young kids coming up that don't necessarily have multiple forms of income yet. You know, you might be a student and so on. That last dollar might mean a ride home. So we just wanted to make sure that it's accessible for most up-and-coming young kids out there. You know, and international platforms charge you a huge annual fee up front. And that's a big barrier to putting your music out. So if you have a big barrier to put your music out, you're going to find other channels that are not maybe good for your music, that is prone to piracy.
Yeah.
If we lower the barrier by lowering the fee, we we give a lot more young people earlier access, and that way they can budget monthly as opposed to spending a big chunk of their cash up front, and rather put that into the music and make more quality from it.
And investing in themselves.
There you go.
That's brilliant, man. That is absolutely brilliant. Okay, I'm looking at the time, and I know we don't have much time left. We're probably gonna have to, I'm sure there's a bunch of questions. I promise you guys are gonna get your time. I promise. I think because we're coming close to an end quickly, I wanna ask, I'll take it to Nasty from a creation perspective, right? For the people that are here, can you talk to them rather through let's say the creation of working on a body of work?
Yeah, like
right?
like an album. Or...
Yeah. How does that look like for you?
Okay.
Do you write? Because I know you may not say it out loud, but there's a lot of production that you also do.
Yeah.
Right. So how much hands-on do you do when it comes to putting on a body of work? What does that look like?
It's a lot of hours spent in the studio. In the beginning phase of it, a lot of time spent in the studio just throwing paint at the canvas. I don't really know what I'm making. I don't know where I want it to go, what I want it to sound like. Just throwing a bunch of ideas on the wall until something sticks. And when something sticks and it speaks to me and it resonates with everything that I've been doing for all these years, that's when I go, that's it. And then I start to lock in on that and start to make the beats that sound like they go with that.
Yeah.
And I basically create the world around that, whatever that thing is.
Yeah. And there's an interview that I saw, right? One of the most loved verses by you, Nasty, was probably the verse for Lemonade, right? Was it Lemonade with AKA? That was probably that was probably one of the most loved verses, right? I remember that famous video of Gemini just going crazy on that. And in the interview, you mentioned how when you finished that verse, it was like you didn't write it.
I didn't write it, but I didn't like it.
You didn't like the verse.
Nah, I didn't.
And I'm sure, you didn't write it either.
Nah.
Come on, player.
So you think I sat there and typed a zibba zays? Is that what you think? Like, that's crazy. Nah, I didn't write that.
For sure. And I think there's a level of within artistry. There's a level of self-trust
Right.
you need to have when stepping up to the mic to deliver something like that. A level of self-confidence. Is that something you feel like you've always had, right? Because if you look at verses like Juice Back, right? Or the song with Youngster and Toby, and you always had that confidence. Is that something where something you build with, or it's something that you kind of like affirmations and you self-talk and you work towards yourself that you can present bodies of work like that?
I think it's the latter for sure. It's me beating it into my own brain that I'm, not an imposter, that I'm worthy of this, that I am as good as people think or whatever. Because
Come on.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Yeah, a lot of times I feel like an imposter. I feel like, these people I'm overrated, this and that, without the help of like haters or anything like that. Just self-doubt, just natural self-doubt. That happens. And so, you have to, it's the affirmations, it's the hours that you put in, when you start to do the practical, literal stuff, then your doubts doesn't stand a chance against that. I could doubt myself all I want. The albums are there. They speak for themselves.
For sure. Come on. Yeah. And I wanna get into the community side of things, right? Which is your fan base, which you seem to, when it comes to the music, you probably one of the most vulnerable rappers, right? From album one, right? I'll first ask you, Ayanda, when you listen to that music, how do you feel when you listening? You're like, oh man, like this is how he really feels about a letter to his mom, or this is how he really feels about a breakup or cheating. Do you know what I mean? Like SMA, one of the biggest songs. You know, when you hear that, right? How do you feel?
I'm just as shocked as the public when they receive it. And mainly because Junior writes this music when he's going through that process.
For sure.
When he was going through the breakup or when he was going through the whatever challenges that he's going through at the time, he goes into studio and he records in real time, right? But by the time the music comes out, he's not in that state anymore. So when we eventually get to hear it, he's in another phase, and we all getting shocked because it means that he went through that, he dealt with that alone, and he came out of it. But we never know for sure. Well, personally, I've never received music and understood and knew exactly that this happened at that time. It's always a surprise.
Post.
It always comes out in post.
That's
Maybe Junior
incredible.
can also speak on it.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, a lot of these songs, they sit in the archives for a very long time before we decide to put them out. So I might rap about something that happened to me today. My perspective on the thing might be totally different 3 years down the line when I finally put it out.
Yeah.
So
that's dope. That's dope. Yeah. And I just want to dive quickly into, like I mentioned earlier, the marketing, right? A lot of people see the post, right? They see after the work has been done, and the amount of, I'm trying to figure out the amount of work that went into putting together the album, right? One, and then two, the amount of work that went into putting together that marketing campaign. Bro, you were at Spa. You were cutting hair at some point, right? And what really,
tires.
Sorry?
Aligning tires and stuff, wheels on.
Yeah, how did the pre-work to building towards something like that, and safe to say, bringing hip-hop back, do you know what I mean? In a year where it was dominated for the longest time by Amapiano, but last year was like, you could feel hip-hop in the room again. Am I lying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could feel, and just the nuances that you guys did, right? So from a marketing perspective, what did that look like?
So a lot of these ideas that from the outside look like this well-calculated, well-put-together strategy, they were so random, bro. They were so random. There was no correlation whatsoever.
Yeah.
They were never meant to go hand in hand. I did the whole working thing purely because I needed to do something different. I felt like I was going crazy. I live a very secluded, bubbled life.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be out here and walk around and serve people, whatever. You know, I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So that's that on the side, right? And then there's the whole Dalangobo thing, which really was just me doing a bunch of content, performing my songs, because I didn't really do that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really do that a lot. So I was like, let me do it. The fans seem to enjoy it. Let me give them more of that. So I was like feeding the beast in that regard.
Yeah.
And then it so happened to be a thing that was easy for people to replicate. And it was funny enough and goofy enough and unserious enough to take away that pressure of like, I can't do this. I don't know how to dance.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Look at what I did, you know? So then there was that. And it just so happened that it was around the time where I had to put out an album, right?
Okay.
So like I said before, I follow the passion, and then these guys sit back and they look at it and they say, okay, cool, let's put this here, let's do this here. And then they put it all together and say, okay, cool, here's a strategy.
Yeah.
But really, the making or the becoming of all those things was random. Totally random. Yeah, very random.
And from the outside, it really feels like, right, that the team is working so, the synergy between you guys is so incredible, right? From the creativity to the management to the infrastructure, right? Has there been a time where it's gone, not so great? Has there been a time where it's like, Ayanda, you saying, here's a brand, and here's a possible, this is gonna work. And Nasty's saying, yeah, I'm not really trying to do that. And you were like, has there ever been a time where there's like conflict, whether it's creative conflict or or it's business finance conflict?
Yeah, it happens all the time. I
Really?
I think Junior says no more than he says yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, so a lot of the creative ideas, a lot of the business strategies that I bring to the table, not all of them get accepted, and I've learned to not get emotional. I understand that he's worked so well building this brand, and we've found so much success when we followed him. So
Yeah.
whenever he doesn't align with an idea that the team is proposing, we respect that, and we go back to the drawing board and we come back with a new idea.
Okay. Chase. I mean, that's a lot of that. That seems like it requires a lot of emotional maturity.
Don't
Right?
take it personal.
Don't take it personal.
Don't take it personal.
Nah. Me, I take it personal. I take it very, very, very personal. Okay. No, that's incredible, man. That's incredible. Apparently, we have 5 minutes left. Is to Q&A or just 5 minutes? To Q&A. Okay, I think we can even jump sooner. I think before we just jump into it, I just want to bring it back to Toby. And I mean, this question is for all you guys across the board. I would ask I'll start with you, Nasty, then Ayanda, then you, Toby. From a creative perspective, right? Why would you say it's important for an artist, a creator, to be on the platform? From a business perspective, Ayanda, why do you think it's important for artists to be on the platform? And then Toby, for you, from an infrastructure and a systems perspective, why would you say it's important for artists to utilize the tools that are on this platform? I'll start with you.
All right, mine is very simple. If I could make music from up here and give it to you in your hand like this, I
Yeah.
would pick that over going all the way around any day, every day.
For sure.
Right? So this platform offers you that, right? There's nothing there to filter your creativity or your message to your fans. They get it exactly how it is from
sure.
you.
For sure.
That's it. That's my, yeah.
My man.
For me, I'd say come to the platform to build your leverage to then later on go and get signed with the major. Torax is the stepping stone to your bigger opportunity. Every artist that comes to Torax, we're not in, and that's why no artist that comes to Torax becomes signed exclusively to Torax. You come in, you distribute your music, you build your fan base, and then once you're big enough and you've got the leverage that Junior was speaking about, you're then able to take that data, you take your community, and you show a label that has a potential to take it to the next level. So Torax is really, it's look at it as high school, and it's preparing you for university.
Love that. Round of applause. That's beautiful, man. And then Toby, for you, from an infrastructure perspective, right, which I think a lot of artists we lack in that, right? We want to make the music, right? But turning the music into a business is where the infrastructure comes in. And one of the things you mentioned that was so vital is how much money we miss out on, right? As artists, not knowing where the money is coming from, not knowing how many middlemen are in between you and just getting the music out and how much they take. So why would you say, from an infrastructure perspective, artists should be joining the platform?
Because you can go direct to market by one, investing in yourself, knowing your
For
worth through the platform. And
For sure.
ultimately, also, similarly, start somewhere for $1 a month, manifest your vision. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important for people to take, number one, today's conversation is at the end of the day, it's not even if you're independent or if you're signed to a label, it's about ownership. Owning your masters, you need to know your data. Your data is the new money in the new music economy.
Oh man, come on. I mean, I think I've asked as many questions as I could, right? We're gonna jump into Q&A, but let me, because we need a little bit of structure. Unfortunately, Toby won't be here for long, right? He needs to go. In fact, sorry, player, you were supposed to leave like 10 minutes ago. My bad. But he has to catch a flight, so he has to leave in literally the next 5-10 minutes max, right? So I wanna, because he is in charge of the infrastructure of the platform, if there's any questions, we're gonna take the questions first about the infrastructure, right? And using the platform itself. If you guys have any questions, make your way over that side. And look at that man there, that handsome man dressed in all white. And remember, for the first 10 minutes, it's the questions around the platform itself. I don't want to commit. 3? All right, we'll take 3 questions. Right? Cool.
I need to adjust sitting on this side.
All right. So, sorry? Are you? You want to switch mics? 1, 2. Okay, cool. So we're going to jump into the Q&A now, guys. Q&A rules, right? You introduce yourself. You're more than welcome to say what you do, and you jump into the question. No freestyles. I don't want to hear the bars, right? Not yet. Not yet, right? You want nasty to hear the bars? It's very, very simple. Just join damn Torax. It's right there. Just get the link, right? But on a real level, right? On a real level, we need to respect everybody's time here, right? So we need to respect that everyone is here to also gather information. Everyone's here to upskill themselves, right? It's not one person's moment to shine. It's for all of us to learn. Agreed? Cool. So you introduce yourself, say what you do, and then straight to the question.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Blessing Molebat Mangena. I'm a rapper or artist going by the name Ramonia. I've got a question for the man in that who is in a rush. The question I have for Mr. Tony is, I've seen your platform, the way you designed it. It's a platform whereby you can post. Is where each and every post that I post, is it gonna go live on all platforms at once?
That's a good question. So what it does is on Torax, it's like a social network of community, right? So when you put your music out, you can now make a post within the platform so that other artists that's on the platform can also discover you. So it doesn't yet do one post and then it puts it out to all social networks. That's a feature that a lot of artists have asked for. So we're going to look for that, to develop that, where you do make one post that goes to all your social networks in one go. For now, when you make the post, it's only on the Torax feed so that other artists and other fans can discover you. But later on, one post, all social platforms. That's the goal.
My man. All right.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zipezinhle.
Do you mind speaking louder, my brother, man?
Okay, so my name is Zipezinhle Mkati, and I'm a software engineer. So I wanted to find out from someone that has plans and like infrastructure that he's already worked on and wants to like bring that to your company or to Torax, the platform. How can I reach out and possibly connect and collaborate with you guys?
Well, you're here, and the fact that you're asking, you would never know if you don't ask. So that's the number one rule in business. You got to know how to ask. The gentleman asked so nicely. So you got to code Python to be a part of the team, but you can always meet me. I'll be leaving soon, and just take your number and connect with us. Always need more talent.
Come on. You might have just got a job, bro.
Yo, what's up? I'm sorry, dog.
Nah, rock.
Yeah, my name is Cardiac. I'm a rapper and a podcaster and a radio presenter. I'm actually just in creativity. So my question would be, I don't know who would answer, but it's just bridging the gap between undiscovered, being unknown, and being known independently. I don't know if it's a question of PR, but how important is PR and how much would you spend in my position for PR and in your position as compared to your position?
Yeah, Ayanda, that's probably for you, bro. It's the money chat.
I
I'm a firm believer of starting with your base, having a really good foundation. So identify your super fans and let them be your advocates. Let them be the ones to spread the word on your behalf. And once you've got a decent community, then curate experiences for them. If you've got 10 fans and you're doing a pop-up for your merch collection or for your little show that you're doing in your hometown, those 10 fans are going to bring a friend each. Now you've got 20 people at your show, right? And then from the 20 people, you grow to 40 people. A lot of people are obsessed with getting to a 5,000 capacity show that they own, and they forget that even artists like Nasty C that are now doing Ivyson tour and they're able to tour across the country. There was a time where he was doing shows and only a handful of people were coming. So take your time, build your base, and those guys will be your soldiers.
Love that, bro.
If I can add to that, sorry. If I can add to that, as far as like promoting yourself, which that was a part of your question, yeah. You have to barter with people. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might have to give someone a free verse so they can let you on stage 3 minutes before you go on. You might have to do a song and give it to Speedster so you can get that interview. You might have to do a freestyle here so you can get this here, you know? So sometimes just use your skill, your talents to get whatever it is that you need. And you know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be money.
For sure,
Yeah?
for sure.
Hi, everyone.
What up?
My name is Mpomtena from the Val. I'm a manager at Culture Hub Entertainment. My question was, do you guys offer like strategic planning for in terms of releasing? If I want to release, do you guys offer like planning? How do I market my music? And if you do you do it in person or do you do it on the platform?
That's a good question. So you being strategic about your release is understanding what to be strategic about in the first place. We can't come up with a strategy as good as you have a vision for your own music. So to do that, it starts with your first 100 fans, your first 100 followers is your release strategy. If you don't have 100 people actively listening to you on Spotify every single month, streaming that album over and over, then you don't have a strategy because you haven't converted people from followers into true fans. I mean, that's where it starts, right? So if you can get those 1,000 likes on Facebook or on Instagram or TikTok converted to 100 listeners, then you understand your percentage of conversion. I've got 1,000 people, I got 100 lovers, that's 10% conversion. Now you need to know, how do I reach 10,000? At a 10% conversion, it's going to give me 1,000 fans. Now, 1,000 fans listening to me is one thing, but 1,000 people to come to my show is a whole different ballgame.
100%.
That's a different strategy, right? So just understand, start learning your numbers, know your data, and aim for growth on a percentage basis of 100 fans truly following and listening to me is the start only of my journey. If you can master just that, the algorithm will help you program the rest.
Love that.
I've got to wrap up.
Toby, can you take one more question? Okay, cool. All right, man. Incredible platform. Can we please get a round of applause for Toby?
One, two.
And then there were two. Lady with the afro. Love you, girl. Can you introduce yourself, tell us what you do, and then pose the question?
Sanbanani.
What up?
My name is Nyeleti the Star. I'm the chocolate queen, chocolate oozing ooey.
Come on.
I'm a singer-songwriter. I rap. Basically, I'm a voice manipulator. I use my voice to manipulate the energy. So I've been doing music for quite some time right now. But more importantly, I host an event, and it's centered around mental wellness in the entertainment industry. I'm on my 10th edition this year. So my question has to do with mental wellness. You know how the industry is: over smoking, over drinking, over dying, over. One thing I've noticed about you following your career is that it seems like you always have the zen going on. Like, how do you maintain that? And as an artist who's also still trying to break into the scene, what would your advice be to all of us here?
First of all, love your look, love the whole.
Come on.
Fire. I have. There's a couple different things that help me out as far as that goes, like in my life. One, I have family very, very close to me. So that helps. Whenever I'm going through one of these weird phases, I just talk to them. I step away from the music a little bit. And, I'm lucky that we shoot so much content and we make so much music that from that side, you can never tell that I'm taking a break. You never really know, so I have that. Two, I read quite a bit. That helps a bunch. And then three, I speak about a lot of the things that trouble me in my music. So sometimes I find that healing in something that I made. So there's that, yeah. And then also I go to therapy, so yeah.
That's dope.
Hi, good day. I have a question for you.
Yo, my bro, that's easy, né? You just need to raise your voice a little bit.
The mic or my voice?
Louder?
Louder.
Yeah?
Louder than this.
Come on, man.
Okay. Good day, everyone. I am Black Eyed Zaza. I'm a singer, rapper, artist. I have a question for you, Nasty. So, what would you say is the best move for like an independent artist as far as networking?
Yeah.
Like let's say you've had an obstacle to like gain a fan base.
Right.
I'm currently doing that, but like now I feel like I'm stuck. Whereas I don't know like what's the next move to like further my career.
And when you say networking, you mean like rubbing shoulders with people who are doing the thing that you want to do, or just like people who might buy into it?
It could be like PRs, record labels.
People like that. Oh, it's being in places like you're doing it. You're here right now. This is it. This is a part of it. So after this, you would talk to this guy separately, get his number, and then you figure out how, like, what's his language? If he's a drinker, invite him to go get a drink and then talk business from there onwards.
Will there be time for that, like after the show?
After this, you got to make the time, dog. Stop him as he's walking up there,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but you're doing it, though. That's my point, is you're doing it.
For sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
Good day there.
What's up, G?
My name is Fenedo Mzingane. I go by the name HM. I'm an artist. I'm an artist. And
sorry, my brother. Just a little louder than that, guys. It's not me. I see the faces being like, yeah. So if you just go a little louder.
I go by the name HM. I'm an artist. I'm all the way from East London, and it's an absolute honor to meet you.
Salute.
The question that I have for you today, I wanted to ask, I followed your journey throughout your career since Bad Hair up until Free. And I wanted to ask, when creating Zulu Man with Some Power, I'm aware that No ID had some production credits on the project. And I wanted to ask, in terms of approaching that, how are the studio dynamics and how do you go about creating with someone of that stature?
Like No ID?
Yeah.
Oof. I was so lucky that when he met me, he already knew enough about me to trust me with my process. So in actual fact, when I was in the studio with him, he would call whoever he calls, like a Big Sean or whatever, to just come see like what we're doing. But he never once tried to, change the way I want to make something, or he didn't sit back and go, let's see what you have. He knew about me already. I was lucky in that regard. So when we got there, he played me a bunch of beats and he just left, went and smoked, came back, listened, went out again, which is the way I prefer it, by the way. I prefer it that way. Yeah.
Fire. Next question. Step up to the plate, my brother. Introduce yourself, what you do, and your question.
Greetings, everyone. This is Tamnos, your boy, Gunzak Tala, the Newtown lead, and Timothy Zwilu, and I had to chop noise.
Come on.
One man sweet.
Come on.
So I'm a producer, a rapper, transitioning into more like performance,
Right.
And what I've seen in the game, I've seen a bit of a gap. So I think I've been a bit jealous of other genres like Amapiano, seeing the new dance moves, seeing how the culture is moving. So what do you think we need in hip hop to get the same moves and the vibrance that they have in Amapiano, the new moves every week?
I don't know, man. That's an interesting question, bro. I don't know. I think we just need, first of all, the hip hop guys need to stop being so cool. You know? That's the thing about hip hop guys, man. They all just want to sit back and be so cool. Niggas don't want to be funny, creative. I think that's one thing that's holding us back. Because you don't see a lot of content when it comes to hip hop. What's hip hop content? What is that even? You don't even know. You know what I mean? But with piano, there's so much that happens. Because a song could just be sounds. There's so much you could do with that. You know what I mean? We just don't have that in hip hop. I think that's the only thing, that's the only edge that they have, on us. They're very, I don't know, I can't find the word for it, but we're too uptight. We need to just loosen up and just have fun. Shoot more stuff, I guess. Yeah. But if you want to create a dance, though, we're here. We'll follow the dance.
Very, very true. Very, very true. Next question.
Good day, everyone. I'm doing Senemu Dlamini. I go by the name of VICE, pronounced Vice. I'm a rapper. I have a question for Ayanda. So since I do rap, I actually manage my own friends. I'm more like a manager for them. So sometimes they have creative ideas or ideas that I don't really align with. I understand it's their vision, but I get into the book more. I study the game more, if I could say that. I know more. That's what I like to think. But they usually have their ideas and we usually don't match. So I don't know how to address that or...
Yeah, I'd say I get what you mean, right? And I'm not trying to tear you down too much, but I'd say let them guide you. Music is very spiritual. It happens in the spirit world before it happens in the material. And as a manager, we tend to look at the bottom line, right? We want to do a lot of research. We want to use strategies that have worked before because there's data that proves that if you do this, then that will happen. But every artist that's a big superstar, they were the ones that were groundbreakers. They did the things that no one had done before. So if you allow the talent that you work with to guide you, and you just need to fuel the flame that they already have, you might find that you'll have a lot more success in that way. And there'll be less resistance in the ideas that you have because you'll be showing that you're also listening to what they have to say.
That's dope.
Can I add to that? If I can add to that, I'll say you have to understand that artists are very weird people, right? You can call it whatever you want, a skill, a talent, a calling, a this or that. But being able to tune into that frequency requires you to be a special kind of person. Maybe special is not the word, but a unique kind of person. Because it's not like we have our own dictionary. We're using the same words everyone else uses in normal conversations, but we put them in such a pattern that's like it hits home. So we already have that thing. That alone should make you trust the artist with their vision. That alone. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right.
Dope. My brother with the dope jacket. My man.
This is my lucky jacket. Sure. All honesty, all I am.
What's poppin', G?
Sure. Actually, my name is Pure Brave, an artist from Soshanguve in Pretoria. All right, so my question, I actually wanted to ask it the first time we met, but then I was out of words and we just took a picture, the fuck. What would it take for an artist like me, to work with an artist like you? Actually, you specifically, you feel me? Yeah, what would it take? You feel me?
A dope song, a song that I connect to.
A dope song.
That's it. Yeah.
All right, so can you please listen to this other song that
for sure, yeah.
Come on. Come on. Yo, can I just say this quickly? That's also the way to do it, right? You didn't rap. You didn't say, I'm going to play my song right now for you to hear. Right? You said, yo, what does it take? Cool, now I know the information. You probably want to take his number too, my bro. You probably want to take his number. But that's the way to do it. You pitch, you say what you want, and you don't take anybody else's time. Love that.
What's up, guys? I go by the name Emmanuel Moachi, but Fall is my stage name.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question for both of you. Something that's been attacking me, in this country, very strongly. With individuals who come from private schools, right? you find that the languages that are taught are not languages that are our mother tongue.
Yeah.
And you find that those languages, like Afrikaans and English,
Yeah.
myself, I'm a person who speaks English very well.
Yeah.
And the other languages that I've brought into my understanding, French, Spanish, Portuguese, they are the other languages that I understand better than my mother tongue. But with those ones actually working so great in my music and actually getting me attention on global statures like the US, like the United Kingdom, Germany as well. The South African area is the one that's not helping me or supporting me in any way, shape, and form. The only thing that they tell me is to stop making your music with that language. Make it with this one. So in a way, they're telling me, don't speak the language you know. Speak the one we want you to know. How is that? How can we actually get proper support? How can, if it's not like fair for the understanding of a person to make music, they have to make music when they are at their greatest feeling, as in like, there's no law to make a song in a specific area. There's no law for that.
Okay.
Or one, you don't have to make music. Two, you don't have to make a certain kind of music. If you want to make music, that's a you decision, right? And you do it however you want to do it. So if you feel better making music in French, make your music in French, bro. Like, go perform somewhere where people will understand it and they'll embrace you and they'll love you. You'll feel more fulfilled that way, as opposed to trying to convince a crowd that you're good enough by rapping in the language that they pick. You know what I mean? Boom Zulu, man, I'm Zulu Paka, but I don't rap in Zulu though. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I kind of went through the same thing that you're going through, you know? I stuck to my guns, dog. I'm very stubborn about my goal, about my dream, you know? So I just stuck to it. I had a lot of these questions, like in the interviews. Why you don't rap in Zulu? Why you don't do that? I just said, I prefer it this way. I'm better at it this way, so I'm gonna do it this way, you know? And there's no offense to anyone who raps in Zulu. No, this is my path, so I'm gonna do it this way. Just do it however you wanna do it, bro. Yeah.
Love that.
Yo, what's good?
What's going on?
I go by Chris 2.0, and my question is for you, Ayanda. How important is management? And if you had advice, how would you advise someone to go about finding a manager that connects to the work that they do?
Yeah, I'd say, bro, like the first step is for you to get an assistant before you even get to a manager. Because at the development stage of your career, you're the one that needs to drive your vision. You need to be able to have someone that's going to be able to take your emails, to answer your phones, to structure your day, to know where you need to be where. And that doesn't take a manager, right? So if you can maybe invest in getting a personal assistant first, someone that's super organized, someone that's punctual, let that person run your calendar, let them run your life. And as you start to get more traction and you walk into different rooms, the manager that you want and the manager that you need is going to come and find you.
Love that.
Samboran.
What up?
My name is Azanda. I'm from Durban, actually located like in Soweto. And this is what I do, man. I do music, I do fashion and all of that. And Punamanj, as we speak, you see. So Puma, where do I go? Like as I speak, I heard you guys talking about $20, what's that, $1 for distribution and all that.
Yeah.
So Punamanj, I mean, Puma, like where do I go actually?
Torax.xyz.
Torax.
So Torax.xyz. That's it.
You gonna do it right now?
You make that. That's fire, bro. Oh well, I'll blind him out.
My man. Yo, that's a guitar. You carrying a guitar?
I'm just peeping it now.
Yo,
the guitar. Look at the
my
guitar.
man.
How about that? What?
I'd just like to use this opportunity firstly to just extend a huge gratification to both of you, especially you, Nasty C, because you've been in my phone for the past 10 years and it's the first time you're looking at me. the amount of life problems and challenges that I've been facing throughout, only for you to record a song, for me to hit my cochlea, and then it resonates in a different way. You know, to a certain part of me right now is standing in front of you because of you. So I just like to extend a huge gratification, not only for me, for majority of your fans. You have a lot of fans right here.
For sure,
So
for sure, for sure.
Ngiyabonga too.
Ngiyabonga bit.
So what brings me here, to be quick, umusa kaNkulunkulu ongilethe khona lana. What brought me here was last week, 2 weeks ago on Saturday, there was a rap battle, a rap freestyle which happened. Ngenhlanhla bengiyothenga isinkwa, ngafika, ngarapha, ngomusa kaNkulunkulu. They invited me, but no, you want studio time. Yabo, ngafika ngarapha, ngathi, oh na, salute. But because I'm given such an opportunity in equality eqinile yabona studio, I had one special song that I had in the vault, which not only speaks to abantu, but it addresses one personal challenge that I've been facing throughout. Yabona, and it's just like a gratification to umama, ukuthi no ngiyabonga mama, ukuthi yena waba nami wangondla wangifikisa la ngifike khona yabona. And it just so happened ukuthi that song I recorded it a year ago, ne? In that song has a beat. So I don't know if you remember, like 2 years ago, you used to call yourself C sharp. And then you used to make a beat, la extended.
Yeah.
Two of those beats, one of them I made a freestyle, I just have it in the vault. One of them, I was able to make that special song. So ngomusa kaNkulunkulu, I was able to come here, win studio time, get dancers who danced for me, perform the song in front of people, and the reception was beautiful. So my one and only request, not to say that I'm trying to take your attention or I'm in Zamogu's Chinese, but I don't think it will make sense for me to drop this song. I haven't dropped it for a year, but I wanted to drop it when it had meaning. It wouldn't make sense for me to drop it when the producer angayizwanga, when the beat maker angayizwanga. So even if it's not now, even if it's 2 minutes, just 2 minutes of your time after this whole thing, uyilalele nje.
I'd be honored to, bro.
Please.
I'd be honored to.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah, that's my only request. Ngiyabonga ne.
Yeah, man, just to like sum up what he said, we started hosting these rap on the beat freestyle. So the last Saturday of every month, we just go outside, we play beats, and anybody can come freestyle. He was here to buy bread, and he jumped on the beat, recorded, and he won studio, and he was performing it earlier today. And I mean, the crowd response was absolutely crazy. So yeah, man, shout out to him. Thank you, Scoop, ne? Thank you, Scoop.
Yo, Nasty. Hi to everyone, bro. My name is Proudy, right? Yeah. And I'm an artist, I'm a producer. I do a whole lot of stuff that I can't really say right now. Right. And I've been a big fan of yours, right? And I watched this documentary where they said like you were put in a position by your parents where you were given 1 year to make it. I don't know if that's true.
The gap year.
Yeah, the gap year. Yeah, so right now I'm in that very same position. I've been put in that very same position.
Yeah.
So
Hi, dog.
I've been trying to push my career. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm freestyling everything, but I've made some progress. I posted a remix to the Stogie T freestyle, the Four Horsemen. Actually got some good traction, about 52K views or something like that. I've been tagging you. I'm hoping that you will see.
I haven't peeped it.
Yeah, but like my question really is, do you still do like your label stuff, like your Torax? Is that still a label?
Do I still do that? Sorry,
like
one
the
more
label, Torax, is that still a label?
Like to sign artists? No. Right now, the sole focus is the distribution side of things.
Okay, yeah. So like as I say, right, this is like the second month of this year. Right. I don't really know what I'm doing, so I would like some kind of advice on like structure, on like how to continue from here.
I don't know if this counts as advice, but okay. So this is what I used as fuel, né? I did not want to go back home. No matter what happened, I was not going back home. So I did whatever I had to do to make sure that I don't end up back at home where my father was going to dictate the rest of my life. That was it for me. It wasn't even like hunger for money or fame or this and this and that. I just didn't want to go back home. It's not like I come from a terrible home. Don't get me wrong. I come from a beautiful family, though. You know what I mean? But I just didn't want to go back. I wanted my own life. You know, so I don't know. Dig deep, dog. You'll find that thing, dog. And of course, it's gonna feel like you don't know what you're doing. It's gonna feel like a freestyle, dog. You're gonna have to, you know, just float with the wind for a little bit, but you'll find your feet, dog. And when you do, it'll feel amazing. Okay.
So
wants to kick the freestyle? Oh, you want to send it? Oh yeah. Can I give you an email? I'll give you an email to send it to.
Yeah, for sure, for
Okay,
sure, for
bet,
sure.
bet. He'll give you his email.
For sure. Sorry, guys, can we also remember that just to keep the voices down, please, ne? Yeah, can we keep voices down, please?
Sanbonan,
What up?
My question goes to the manager. What steps would I have to take to be Nesty C's next ghost producer? The next ghost producer. Yeah.
I think he can better answer that.
You just gotta send the beats. I'm not gonna lie, just send the beats. I listen to them, I connect with whatever I connect with, and I make the songs. I think someone else asked something similar, but they wanted a verse. It's not that difficult, man. All these established artists that we sit and look at and think only the best of the best can get to them, they're all looking right back at us, looking for something fresh and something new. I'm always on the internet scouring, trying to find new beats. I record so many songs. Some of them might never make it out, but that doesn't mean that those songs or those beats are trash at all. You know what I mean? Just send your beats, dog. Don't be stingy with them. Send them to everyone. Send the same beat you send to me, send it to, I don't know, Blackie. You know what I mean? Hella packs, just send them out, dog. Something's gonna catch, you know?
Also, my bro, here's an idea. I mean, these guys did say that you can upload your stuff on their platform. They're gonna be listening to it. You know what I mean? So there's an opportunity for you to upload the beats onto the platform. You know what I mean? You may get a feature or a song from Nasty, but you may get a verse from someone, may get a verse from Stogie. Maybe Stogie will be on there. Maybe Castle will be on there. You know what I mean? But maximize the utilization of the platform as well.
Yeah, just to add on that, Audio Mark is doing A&R for Torax. So his job is literally to go onto the platform and listen to all the submissions that we have, including the music that's getting distributed as well. So if you're not comfortable to distribute it yet, just put it on your feed. Someone will at some point listen to it and they'll either drop you a comment or they'll reach out to you directly if they need that beat.
My man.
Yeah. Muling. Yeah, my name is Ishmael. I go by the name Decade, KIDD, King in different dimensions. So, question is simple. Actually, like, how do you, how do you drive your drive?
How do I?
Drive your drive. Like, don't feel uninspired.
Okay, so just say it in another way. Rephrase it. I don't know.
How do you keep going even?
How do I keep
How do you
going?
stay motivated?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's nothing else in the world that I can do with 100% focus other than this. There's nothing else I would rather do with 100% of my focus than this. So no matter what happens, I will always be doing this. You know what I mean? That's what keeps me going, man. It's not like money. I'm not trying to make anyone proud. I'm not trying to keep some sort of status. I love this thing, though.
My man.
You know what I mean? That's it.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Good day to everyone.
It's popping.
What up, bro?
My name is Gaubaka and my stage name is 1021 Bucks. And basically what I wanted to ask is, based on recent research, I heard that the market revenue is shifting globally, where independent artists are having a much more bigger share. Where independent artists are having a much more bigger share than before compared to labels. My question on that basically is, how do I, as an independent artist, submit to get playlists under playlists like Rap Radar and in Spotify, basically?
It's so those particular playlists, they the bigger playlist reserve that space for the bigger artists. You must also be very mindful that every big artist is looking to be on Rap Radar, and Apple Music is still a business, and they will, when they're curating their more premium playlists, they'll select the artists that will drive better traffic onto their platforms, right? But there's a lot of other playlists that you can get a chance to be featured on that are not as exclusive as your Rap Radar or Rap Caviar. For you to get a chance to be playlisted there, you need to work on a 6-week lead time. And most artists don't have the patience to wait for 6 weeks for their single to drop. Most artists want to be in the studio, they catch a vibe, they get excited about that song, and they want to drop it next week. And when you do that, you don't give the playlisters enough time to get to your song to then consider it for a particular playlist. So whenever you're distributing your music, make sure that you saw on Torax, there's a time release. If you time your release and you give your release 6 weeks, that means you needed to upload the song, mixed and mastered. You needed to have your cover art and all your metadata already completed. And you submit your song and you give it a 6-week lead time. Playlists are being curated by human beings like me and you. There's someone that goes into the Apple office and their job is to listen to music that's going to drop in 6 weeks' time. And if there's not a lot of music that's being scheduled in 6 weeks, it increases your chance of your song being playlisted because it means there's a lot more gaps available for that person to then fill. So make sure you give yourself enough lead time to increase your chances of being playlisted.
For sure. All right, guys. Just looking at time now, I can see the line is long, and I'm sorry, right? But we'll probably take 3 more questions. We'll take 3 more questions.
Yo,
We'll have to wrap it up.
You?
Yo, Nasty,
poppin'.
bro, how you doing?
Good, bro. How you?
Bro, let me tell you something, bro. I feel like I'm like one feature away from changing my life. I feel like right now you could change my life. You could be that person for me. You could give me a feature right now that could change my life, bro. Like, I'm being dead ass serious. My name is Benedict. I go by Town Divine. I rap, I sing, I stream. I feel like, bro, if you could just
I listen to the song. Yo, who knows, man? Who knows? I'm gonna listen to it.
But you don't know my. Can you write my name on your phone? That ass, like, for real.
Brother, I'm taken. Please, let's not do this.
Bro, like, it's not like that, though.
No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
But Ayanda will take your details. You'll send a song, and I'll listen to it. For real, I'll listen.
I rap, I stream, I sing.
My man.
I respect the grind, man. I respect it.
Well, like, how you gonna get my stuff?
Come on now, player. All right, guys, let's keep the noise down. Let's keep the noise down, please.
Good day, everyone. My name is Tuto, but in the streets they call me TT, aka the boy with the aura. So like we've seen like a lot of artists come into like the mainstream, and then after 1 year, they're no longer like relevant. So like my question is to you is what are the most important skills that each and every upcoming artist should master in order for them to keep a long-term career, just like you, Big Dog?
Okay. That's a real question right there.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I'll give you practical ones, yeah? Learn how to sing. I'm not saying learn how to sing like Usher, like Beyonce, like whatever. Learn how to sing. Even if that's not what you want to do, just know how to do it. Singing makes your songwriting so much better. As rappers, we're trying to cram so many words into one sentence, we lose people. Singers, they get it right. You know what I mean? Learn how to sing. Learn how to engineer. Learn how to record yourself. You know what I mean? You never know which door you're going to have to take to get into that building. You might have to come as a songwriter. You might have to come as a producer. You might have to be an engineer, a beat maker. Learn all those things. Just try and do everything yourself. The first couple, they're going to be trash. The first couple of songs or whatever, it's okay. You know what I mean? Somewhere down the line, I'm telling you, you'll start to get the hang of this thing and you'll be a Swiss Army knife. When you get in, let's say we're in studio right now, you might stumble into this session and I might need something. I might not need a rapper. I might need an engineer. If you can engineer, you're my guy now. You know what I mean? Now we move. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
It. That's it, vital.
That's dope.
Yeah, and then also...
Yo, my bro.
Yeah. And then also just to add, because you were speaking about an artist blowing up and then after some time they disappear. Every song that you release, make sure that your paperwork is in order. Make sure that you've got your split sheets, you registered with all the right societies. because what tends to happen is that big song that you get, you end up 2 years later fighting the producers, fighting the featured people, fighting the labels for you to get that revenue back. But if you've got your paperwork in place, when that big song finally pays, it pays to you directly, and then you can reinvest into your career. You can build a studio. You can go to engineering school to then be able to come back and try again.
I love your energy, bro. There's something about you. There's something about you, man. Like real talk.
He reminds me of Justin a little bit.
You know what I mean?
Justin 99. He reminds me of him. Man.
Yeah, man. Your energy. There's something about that, bro. There's something about that. Oh, my dog, your drip is killing. Let's go.
So what's up, everybody? My name is Stevie Cray. I'm an artist from Kagiso. So my question is this. I'm a rapper, also a muralist, so I do graffiti and stuff like that. I feel
Nice.
like I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place. I'm chasing two career paths, but at the same time, I'm trying to merge them as one within the rap industry and then the mural industry. So I'm just trying to figure out a way how I can make that work, because you also do gaming, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, just like a bit of advice from that.
I get you, man. This is another one of those questions where I don't have a direct answer. I can give you an example with what I did, and then maybe you can apply it to your situation. So my first talent, the first thing that I started getting a lot of attention and praises for, and the first thing that started giving me money before rapping, before making beats, was drawing. I used to draw a lot. I used to draw people's faces. I used to do like commission, but like for $5. It was nothing, but it was something, right? And I thought that that's what I wanted to pursue until I found music. Then that became my thing. But then I already had like some sort of like a following when it came to like the sketching stuff. Yeah, I had to put that on pause. I had to focus this side. I needed to get my money up. I needed to get out of my home and all that kind of stuff. Fast forward a couple years down the line, I'm the one that's making my own artworks. I can design my own merch. I can design my poster for my tours and stuff. I don't have to pay nobody for that stuff. You know what I mean?
Come on.
It can come back and help you sometime down the future. Just pick whichever one you want to use as a vehicle, use that as a vehicle, and then the other thing will come somewhere down the line.
Yo, my bro, let me also add this, nah. Try your best to, if you have two paths, right? Certainly there's one you're more passionate about than the other, right? Use what you have to fuel the other, right? So if you are a musician, but you have some level of entrepreneurship, you know how you're good in sales, use that to fuel the dream. There's a lot of people that are doing multiple things, and the reason why they're doing that is to fuel this main thing. You know what I mean? So put together your resources and figure out how are you gonna make money so that it can fuel and sustain the dream. Make sense? My man.
Okay, guys. So this is a question from the YouTube live feed, right? And
Okay.
we are live right now, and there's someone in the part of the viewers who's asking that, what do you think is one thing that up-and-coming artists do wrong to blow up too quick?
What is
there.
one thing?
What is something, or what are some things that up-and-coming artists do wrong to blow up too quick?
Wait, something that they do wrong when
they've blown up.
Yeah, when on the rise.
Okay. I don't know, man. I think that one thing that a lot of artists lack, period, in general, not just up and coming artists, is discipline. You know, discipline is a big part of how you build longevity. You have to be disciplined. You know what I mean? You heard my brother earlier say, I say no more times than I say yes. It's because I know what I want. We've set this path and we've committed to walk in this path.
Yeah.
So we're not going to waver and go this side.
For sure.
That's one thing. Another thing, I'm not out here trying to chase trends. I don't dress like anybody else. You don't see me anywhere where you see anyone else. I'm doing my own thing, you know? I'm staying in my lane, and that's how it's always been ever since I started. And of course, at first, people looked at it because they didn't understand me. Is that I might have thought I was better than everyone else, or this guy doesn't want to hang out.
For sure.
That's how it starts, and people will say whatever they say, and that's fine. But if you know what you're doing and you know where you want to go, just stick to that. Look that way. Put your blinders on and just go that way.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Man.
I think a lot of a lot of artists and up and coming artists get that wrong, and then they blow up, and they suddenly see so many smiles coming from this direction and that direction, and then they just start click hopping. They go here, they go there, they go there. By the time those people have sucked them dry of their sauce and their juice, they don't even know who they are anymore.
100%.
You know what I mean?
100%. And structure. You know what I mean? Like, I think one of the things when you blow up too fast, right? It's very hard to piece together the structure, right? Finding the right structure, right? There's something Ayanda said that was so important to say. Before you look for a manager, look for someone who can assist you. You know what I mean? If you get too busy, someone needs to maintain your phone. Someone needs to maintain those messages, those emails, creating some sort of structure instead of getting lost in everything else that's going on, you know? All right, guys, my bro, I know, dog, you're looking at me with, oh, man, nasty. Please, bro, get that guy. Just one. Temela, please don't fire me. Please don't fire me.
Okay, make it one 2-part question. Yeah? One question, but make it 2 parts. You get me?
Yes.
I'm trying to help you out here, Doug.
He's trying.
Okay.
What's the question? Oh, he needs to, okay.
Nasty, how are you, brother?
Good, my G. How
I'm a
you?
radio personality, MC, and presenter. The reason I came through here is because I'm a huge fan of hip hop, especially your fan.
Come on.
And I believe that hip hop people are very passionate about what they do.
Yes, sir.
So my question to you is the fact that, considering the fact that most of us are black here, most of us are pushing passion. We've got a lot of pressures, especially at home.
Yep.
Is it really worth it?
Is it worth
That's
it
my question.
to pursue this thing?
Yeah.
1,000%. Without a doubt, I would say yes. Regardless of what path you pick, bro, there's going to be some hardships. There's going to be some glorious moments, and there's going to be moments where you feel like God has turned his back on you. That's going to happen regardless of what you pick. Wouldn't you rather go through that doing something you love?
For
just
sure,
pick it.
I tell my secrets to a bottle.
You know what I mean?
I trusted over a lot of people that I know. Shout out to you, Nasty.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nasty C and Team Nasty Ayanda. Yo, can y'all stand up for these guys? Can y'all stand up for these guys? Come on, man. Come on. Yo, guys, on a real level, I want to say thank you. We've never done this before, by the way. It's crazy because, Nasty, one of your last answers was that your first thing was drawing. There's a kid that came to me like just before I jumped on stage, and it was like, please, but I don't want to even talk too much. I just did something for Nasty, and I just want to give it to him. So I'm going to give this kid like 30 seconds to just come to you. He says he's done something that he wants to give to you. Come through, my brother. Come through. You have 29 seconds. 28. There you go. Who are you and what did you do?
All right, okay. Hello, everyone. I go by the name of Azile. Some know me as Azel. Since I'm Azile, so that's a tribute to my art's name. So, yeah, I did this for you.
This is incredible.
Thank you.
This is incredible.
Since it's the last day of the Valentine's month,
Right.
I did this for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's give a round of applause first before. This is fire, but I cannot accept this, right?
Yeah.
On the count of the fact that this is not Sam. I haven't seen this person since grade 9, dog. I don't you know what I mean?
All right.
But I get it. A lot of people make that mistake. It's a
Okay.
beautiful piece of work, bro. You're incredible. You're talented. But I can't take that home.
I
You know what
do
mean?
understand.
Yeah. Yeah, let's fix the face. You know what I mean?
That's dope. But guys, well, my man. Guys, I want you guys to understand, right, that one, we're definitely gonna be doing more of these, right? And this, on a serious level, could not happen without you. This cannot happen without you. We get our ideas from you. We get what to do from you, right? and we are just a vehicle. So this doesn't happen without you, and this doesn't happen without a group of people at Absa believing in this thing. You know what I mean? Believing in providing access for free, in believing that the culture still matters, right? In a time, like on a real level, in a time where you can ask for funding all you want, right? And they don't want to give access to opportunity, but there's a brand that has gone beyond, right? Making this work to say, no, we want to invest, right? So a huge thank you to Absa, a huge thank you to you, and a huge thank you to Absa for putting this together and helping us be able to do this. I genuinely hope that you guys sign up. I genuinely hope that you guys get access to the space. I genuinely hope that you guys are able to utilize and maximize the space. In front of everybody, I want to say a huge thank you to you, Ayanda, bro. We've been talking about this since last year. Thank you so much for willing to do this. Nasty, for taking the time, right? For taking the time. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here, you know what I mean? So we really do appreciate it. A round of applause. Last but not least, a huge thank you to the team. Thank you for putting this together. Thank you for making this happen. A massive thank you to Absa for putting this together, for listening to us, for willing to go the mile with us. We appreciate you so much. And a round of applause for Nasty C. A round of applause for Ayanda. Guys, lastly, thank you to you guys. You guys are going to get to network. He's going upstairs.